Our second lesson in this chapter is on rational numbers. Rational numbers are any numbers that can be written basically as a fraction, and your denominator of the fraction cannot equal 0. The first set of rational numbers is called natural numbers. Those are basically your counting numbers. When we begin counting, it goes 1, 2, 3, and so on. This does not include 0. The next set of numbers is whole numbers. So whole numbers are positive numbers, our counting numbers, and 0. So this includes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Our next set is integers, and you should know integers from our last chapter. They are positive and negative whole numbers, not fractions, and it includes 0. So pretty much any number that is on the number line. Rational numbers is a real number that can be written as a fraction, or as a ratio, or as a decimal, because fractions are parts of wholes and decimals are parts of wholes. And every whole number can be written as a fraction. We can write rational numbers as fractions. So we can take any of our integers and write them as fractions. Because any whole number can be written as a fraction with 1 in the denominator. You may ask why. Because if you divide anything by 1, it does not change. So for example, if I had 9 and I wanted to write it as a fraction, it would be negative 9 over 1. If I had negative 23 and I want to write it as a fraction, it would be negative 23 over 1. We can also make mixed numbers as fractions. So to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction, we would use the acronym MAD. So MAD means to multiply, add, and keep the denominator. So if I have 4 and 2/3, I would put my sign, so I want you to multiply the whole number by the denominator, and then it wants you to add the numerator. And then I'm going to circle the denominator because you're going to keep it. So to write this out, it would be 4 times 3 plus 2, and you're going to keep the denominator, which is 3. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, and you keep your denominator of 3. So the improper fraction would be 14 over 3. Let's do another example. If I have 6 and 1/6, again, I would multiply the whole number by the denominator and add the numerator. Keep your denominator. To write this out, it would be 6 times 6 plus 1, and our denominator stays the same as 6. So 6 times 6 is 36, add 1 is 37, and keep your denominator. So that mixed number would be written as 37 over 6, and that is an improper fraction. So we can make decimals fractions just like we can make fractions decimals. They're both part of a whole. So why we have a decimal is because we have part of something, we don't have a whole number. Why we have a fraction is because we may have part of the whole thing. So, to change a decimal to a fraction, the number before the decimal is the whole number. You're not always going to have one. The number after the decimal will be your numerator because that shows what we have. The place value of the decimal's last digit is your denominator. Okay, that shows what makes up the whole thing. So if I look at my first example, 0 and 64 hundredths. Okay, I have nothing in my whole number position, nothing in my 1, so I have 0 whole things. I have 64, and I need 100 total to make $1, if you think about it like money. And this 4 is in the hundredths position. That's why our denominator is out of 100. The next example, it's 5 and 875 thousandths. So I have 5 whole things. So this is going to be a mixed number. Okay, the part I have is what's after the decimal. I have 875 things, but I need 1,000 to make our next whole number. So that 5 shows that I have 5 whole things, and then I have 875 parts out of 1,000. So a lot of these times you could just read the numbers, and if you're reading them correctly, it will make it easy to make the fraction as well. Just like over here, I said 64 hundredths. Our fraction was 64 over 100. So this one was 5 and 875 thousandths, and then our answer was 5 and 875 over 1,000. So we'll be doing way more examples in class.